A cheesy Gruyere hash brown bake. Hey, I'm Kristen Kish. You might know me from Top Chef or my new show called Fast Foodies. And today I'm a new student and now a new teacher of the phenomenon of sheet tray dinners. Cooking everything on one sheet tray to make cleanup and execution super simple. And one of my favorite things are hash browns or just potatoes in general. And so we're gonna basically take frozen hash brown potatoes. And so these are already lightly seasoned with a little bit of salt, pepper. I think there's garlic powder, some onion powder. I'm taking one of my favorite cheeses, which is a Gruyere. And Gruyere is nutty, it's salty, it's rich, it's creamy, it's beautiful in melting dishes such as a hash brown bake. Instead of shredding it, I just cubed them up because I like bigger chunks of cheese to kind of thread throughout. I'm just gonna dump everything in this bowl. So we have our potatoes, our cheese, some fresh rosemary and fresh thyme, of Dijon mustard because I like the kick, extra virgin olive oil. I don't need to add too much because these potatoes already are coated in a little bit of oil. So if you find that they feel a little dry, so you add more. Add a hefty pinch of salt, freshly ground black pepper, and really that's the basis of the sheet tray dinner. At home, you are most likely probably to have a half sheet tray. But I figured sometimes this is just too much food to make for one or two people. So I would highly recommend investing in something called a quarter sheet tray. The potatoes I would highly recommend using right out of the freezer because as they sit, they start to leap a little bit of liquid, which we don't necessarily want. So go right from freezer bag into your bowl, mix it together, and it can go right in the oven. At this point, if you wanted to add spice or whatever you'd like, you can really just add it. This is the true base to a yummy potato dish. So I have them nicely dispersed all the way to the corners. And now, because we're gonna add eggs a little bit later on, I'll just take a spatula handle and I'm gonna create little egg holes. So I'm gonna do 4 eggs for this. And this is gonna go into a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes. Okay, so this is about 20 to 25 minutes out of the oven. You can really start to smell that cheese. It's like starting to crisp up in little bits on the sheet tray, which is like one of my favorite parts. If you don't want to add eggs, don't add eggs, it's totally fine. But for my perfect mix, I'm using a chorizo, so this is already fully cooked. If you're choosing to do a raw, maybe Italian sausage or a raw chorizo out of the casing, you'd add it with the raw potatoes, your raw sausage or your raw chorizo, and then you put it in the oven for that first cook. Because this is already cooked, we just really want to warm this through, maybe crisp up the edges a touch. And then we're gonna take large eggs. We'll crack those right into those pre-made holes that we... Now because my sheet tray has a little bit of a non-stick sheen on it, I don't have to add any more fat and I didn't really have to add additional spray fat other than that olive oil that was in the potato mixture. I'm gonna put it back in our 400-degree oven. And we're gonna cook it for another additional 6 to 8 minutes, depending on the doneness of your eggs that you like. I'm gonna start at 6 and then we'll check on it. And we are 90% there. Oh my God, I'm so excited. With such a rich dish that is eggs and fatty chorizo and cheesy potatoes, a little bit of a cooling effect and maybe a little bit of brightness really does add a lot of value to a dish like this. Some Maldon sea salt, seasoned just over the egg, ground pepper, again just over the eggs. We'll take our lemon. And I love parsley as a garnish. I think it's so delicious. You know, tossed in a beautiful mixed green salad or, you know, topping something like this. Garnish around the tray. You can do it with your eyes closed and see where it lands. Some on the table, some on the tray. And as if there wasn't enough richness, I'm just gonna take some sour cream. Why not? Here you go. This is it. We have a cheesy Gruyere hash brown bake. Oh yeah. Oh, that is a sight to behold. So, taste test. Oh my God. This to me is the most perfect sheet tray dinner, brunch, breakfast, whatever you want to call it. Highly recommend you try this. I'm just gonna keep eating. So good.